Karizmatik.
Hello, everyone.
Warm greetings to you all.
We're really happy to be back with another episode.
At Karizmatik, we truly work around the clock to create content that's useful for you.
More than 50 people contribute with care and precision across our network of channels so you can have the best possible experience.
If you're enjoying this, please share the video with others.
That small action helps the show reach more people and gives us the energy to keep going better and stronger.
Shall we begin?
Let's crush it. So I want to start with a feeling, I think. Yeah, well, I think every single person listening right now has experienced it.
Yeah.
You're in a conversation, maybe with a boss, a
Yeah.
partner, or a friend, and they ask you a question.
Right.
And on the surface, the words are totally fine. They might even be smiling, but in your stomach, it's just absolute dread.
It's that instinctive flinch. Your brain hears the words, but your gut hears a threat.
Exactly. And the moment you answer, you just know you've made a mistake. You're suddenly stumbling, defending yourself, apologizing for things you didn't even do. It's like stepping right into quicksand.
That is the anatomy of a trap. And, what's fascinating about the research we're diving into today is we usually think of liars as people who make false statements.
Yeah, a lie is just a sentence that isn't true.
Right. But the most sophisticated manipulators, the real pros, they don't just use statements, they use questions.
Which is so much sneakier. I mean, a statement just sits there, but a question. It demands something from you. It forces you to engage.
Precisely. A question hijacks your brain. It demands an answer. And if you answer a manipulative question on its own terms, you've effectively accepted their premise. You've entered a game you cannot win.
Because the board is tilted against you from the very start.
Exactly.
So today, we're going to level that playing field. We've pulled together research on the 5 most dangerous questions manipulators use. These innocent questions that are actually traps.
But we're not just going to analyze them. We're going to look at how to answer them. And we're doing it with a bit of a twist. We're using Stoicism.
Which might sound like an odd pairing, modern psychology and ancient philosophy.
It might, but when you read Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, you realize that human nature hasn't changed in 2,000 years. The toxic mind games people play in office meeting rooms today.
They were playing the exact same games in the Roman Forum.
The exact same games. I love that.
The technology changes, but the manipulation is timeless.
It is. The core strategy is always the same. Plant a little seed of doubt and then just wait for you to destroy yourself.
Wow.
So our mission today is to unpack these 5 questions and figure out how a Stoic philosopher would answer them. Not with anger, not with shouting, but with absolute unshakable calm.
Okay, let's get into the first one. I would argue this is the most common one I see. You bring up a valid issue, maybe you're pointing out a problem at work or setting a boundary in a relationship, and they look at you with this soft, concerned expression and ask, "Why are you so sensitive?"
The classic, why are you so sensitive? It's diabolical because it masquerades as empathy.
Bro, sounds like they're worried about you.
But make no mistake, this is not a question. It is an accusation.
It feels like a weapon. I've been there. You feel the heat rise in your chinks because suddenly we aren't talking about the issue anymore. We're talking about me and my apparent inability to handle reality.
And we have a modern term for this, gaslighting. The subtext here is very specific. They're saying, you are weak. You are imagining things. The problem isn't what I did. The problem is your broken filter.
They're attacking your perception of reality.
They're trying to disable your radar.
Disable your radar. That's a great way to put it. Because if I believe I'm too sensitive, then I stop trusting what I see.
Exactly. Seneca once wrote, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Now, manipulators twist this. They want you to believe that your valid observation, the reality right in front of you, is just your imagination running wild.
So they frame your awareness as a weakness.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just being sensitive.
But let's reframe it back. This is where the Stoic mindset kicks in. Think about a financial analyst who spots a tiny discrepancy in a spreadsheet. A 0.1% error.
Yeah.
Everyone else says, oh, it's nothing, why are you so picky? But that analyst pushes and they find a massive fraud scheme. Was that analyst sensitive or were they observant?
They were sharp. They saw what others missed.
Or a spouse who notices a subtle change in their partner's tone or their schedule. They get told they're being paranoid. Why are you so sensitive? But a month later, the infidelity comes to light. In both cases, that sensitivity wasn't a flaw. It was a high-functioning detection system.
So when someone tries to jam that radar by asking, why are you so sensitive? How do we respond? Because if I say I'm not sensitive, I sound defensive.
Yeah.
I sound Well,
Yeah,
sensitive.
you can't defend against it directly. The Stoic response is about refusing to be defensive and instead correcting the definition. Marcus Aurelius is all about stripping away the emotional story and just looking at the raw data. So, you don't get angry. You don't defend your feelings. You just look them in the eye and you say, I am not sensitive, I am observant. Does that bother you?
Ooh, I am not sensitive, I am observant.
And then that little follow-up, does that bother you?
That is such a power move. You're taking the label sensitive, which implies weakness, and swapping it for observant, which implies strength. And then you ask them why they have a problem with it.
And it causes the mask to fall. They are banking on you retreating into self-doubt. When you claim your observation as a strength, you show them your radar is working perfectly. They fear your sharpness, and by owning it, you take away their power.
I love that. Okay, let's move to the second trap. This one, it really plays on our desire to be good people. It usually comes up when you ask for proof or some clarity. They hit you with, don't you trust me?
Or sometimes you trust me, right?
Yes.
This is a pure pressure tactic. It relies on the social contract. We're all conditioned to believe that distrust is rude. So when someone asks that, they're weaponizing your politeness against your own logic.
It's a total trap. I mean, if I say, no, I don't trust you, I'm starting a fight. But if I say yes, I'm basically giving them a blank check to do whatever they want.
And here is the golden rule you need to just internalize. Anyone demanding trust instead of earning it is showing their hand.
That's so true.
Trustworthy people generally do not ask to be believed. Their actions speak so loudly that the question is completely unnecessary.
It's like if a cashier counts the money I hand them, I don't scream, don't you trust me? I understand it's just verification.
Exactly. Epictetus taught us that it's impossible for a person to learn what they think they already know. A liar uses this question to kill your curiosity. They want you to feel guilty for even asking for proof. They frame your need for verification as a personal insult.
It's the how dare you maneuver. Like, after all we've been through, you're asking to see the receipts?
Think about a business partner who won't show you the financial figures, but just keeps saying, hey, we're partners, trust me. Or a partner who hides their phone screen but says, don't you trust me? They aren't building trust. They are demanding blind obedience. And blind obedience is the soil where betrayal grows.
How do we handle this?
Yeah.
How do we answer, don't you trust me, without just blowing everything up right there?
You use the Stoic concept of apatheia. And you have to be careful. This doesn't mean apathy, like you don't care. It means equanimity, composure. It means not letting emotion ride over reason. You pause. You don't let their emotional guilt trip work on you. And you say, trust is earned over time. You are asking me to close my eyes to my reason.
You are asking me to close my eyes to my reason.
Ow.
That is so grounding. It just separates the emotion of trust from the logistics of the situation.
It changes the game completely. You aren't saying you are a liar. You are saying, I have a brain, and you are asking me not to use it.
And a liar would panic.
A liar will panic or get angry because you've refused to be emotionally blackmailed. But an honest person, they won't be offended. They understand that trust is a fortress built brick by brick, not a gift you just hand over under pressure.
I really like that distinction. A fortress, not a gift. Okay, question number 3. This is where things can get aggressive. You ask a question about something that just doesn't add up, maybe a timeline or a missing item, and they snap back with, are you accusing me?
This is the shield. In psychology, we sometimes see this in the acronym DARVO deny, attack and reverse victim and offender. This question is the reversal part.
Right. You ask a question about a situation, and suddenly you are on trial for your tone.
It happens so fast. The spotlight moves from their sketchy behavior to your character. And then you start apologizing. No, I didn't mean it like that. I was just asking. And boom.
You've lost.
You've lost all your power. You're now explaining yourself instead of getting answers.
So what did the Stoics say about this?
Well, Marcus Aurelius had a lot to say about conflict. He believed the best response to irrationality or anger is often silence, or at least refusing to play their game. Silence isn't surrender here.
Right.
It's refusing the premise of their attack.
So we don't jump in to apologize.
Absolutely not. Do not rush to fill the silence. That's what they want. They want you to scramble.
Yeah.
Instead, you look them in the eye for 2 or 3 seconds. Let that silence just hang there.
That's uncomfortable.
It is, but you hold it. And then you simply ask. I have to ask. Is there a reason I should?
Wow, is there a reason I should accuse you? That just flips the pressure right back onto them.
It puts the pressure exactly where it belongs. You aren't accusing, you are inquiring. Now, if they're innocent, that question is confusing but harmless. They might say, no, of course not. But if they're guilty,
That question is terrifying.
It's terrifying because it implies you're open to the possibility, but you aren't committing to it yet. You're just watching. Liars wait for your fear. Stoics respond with dominance. But it's a calm dominance. It's not about screaming. It's just holding your ground.
It's the difference between being a pawn and being a player. Okay, let's get to the fourth one. This one is tricky because it often sounds so heartbreakingly sincere. They look at you with these big, sad eyes, maybe even with tears, and they say, "Would I ever lie to you?"
Poison wrapped in foil. This is a performance. It's the performance of innocence. And it's designed to make you feel like a monster for even suspecting them.
Right.
But think about it logically. Honest people don't usually need to convince you they aren't liars. If I ask you what you had for lunch, you don't grab my shoulders and say, "A sandwich, I would never lie to you."
Right, that would be incredibly suspicious.
The more someone proclaims their innocence, the more suspicious you should be. Seneca said, "If it is not true, do not say it. If it is not right, do not do it." It's very simple. But the manipulator creates this complex fog of emotion. Would I ever lie to you is a rhetorical question designed to force you into saying no.
It's like when a kid breaks a vase and before you even ask, they just scream, "I didn't do it." The denial is way too loud.
Exactly. They thrive in fog and confusion. So the Stoic response is to turn on the light. Do not take the bait. Do not reassure them. You say, the question isn't that. The question is, if you lie, I will find out.
If you lie, I will find out. That sends a shiver down my spine. It's not a threat, it's just a fact.
It's a statement of reality, cause and effect. Honest people aren't afraid of the light. They aren't afraid of verification. Only someone hiding something fears the idea that you will find out the truth. You are just telling them, I'm awake, I am paying attention.
Thanks for staying with us up to this point.
If it's been helpful, send it right now to one person your single share really motivates our team.
Okay, we're back. We've covered 4 major traps: gaslighting, forced trust, deflection, and emotional performance. So now we have the final card the liar plays when they've run out of options.
They're cornered.
Right. They can't deny it, they can't gaslight you, so they try to exhaust you. They ask, "Can't we just move on?" Or, "Why do we have to keep talking about this?"
This looks like a peace offering. Let's bury the hatchet. But in this context, it is actually avoidance.
It's a trick.
It translates to, I don't want to take responsibility, I just need you to be too tired to keep digging.
It's the wear them down strategy. Just make it so exhausting to get to the truth that the other person gives up.
Yes. Think of a company with a massive scandal. What do they always say? We want to focus on the future.
Or a cheater who gets caught. Why bring this up? Can't we just move on?
They are trying to bury something that is still rotting. And if you agree to move on without resolving it, that rot just spreads. It's like putting a Band-Aid over an infected wound. Marcus Aurelius would remind us that truth does not have an expiration date. Just because you are tired of talking about something doesn't mean the lie has suddenly become true. The truth doesn't fade just because someone wants to let it go.
So how does a Stoic handle this request for a false peace?
Yeah.
Because we do want peace, right? We don't want to argue forever.
We want peace, but we want true peace. And true peace comes from clarity, not from exhaustion.
Yep.
So when they ask, can't we just move on? You make a decision. You don't get angry. You anchor yourself in truth. And you say, I will move on when I understand exactly what happened, not before.
I will move on when I understand exactly what happened. That sets such a hard boundary.
It tells the liar they cannot push you. It tells them that your desire for peace does not outweigh your commitment to the truth. You cannot build a relationship or a business or a life on a foundation that hasn't been inspected.
It's really about knowing what you can control. The liar relies on creating mental chaos, so you lose your balance.
That is the core of it. The manipulator's entire game relies on your internal chaos. They don't need logic, they just need to knock you off center.
If you're spinning, they can steer you.
They can. So Stoicism is like the anchor in that storm. Epictetus gave us the golden rule. Distinguish between what is in your control and what is not. This is the dichotomy of control. The wind, their lies, their manipulation, their emotional performances, that's the storm. It is outside your control.
You can't stop the wind from blowing.
You can't, but you can control how you stand in it.
Right.
Imagine a storm where everyone is running around terrified, but one person is standing perfectly still. The wind still blows, but it has no effect on their footing. That is the Stoic.
So the secret is that their weapon only works if you react.
If you remove the reaction, the weapon turns to dust. Their power comes from your fear, your guilt, your need to please. When you replace those reactions with calm observation, they are helpless.
They're just people saying words.
That is so liberating. You stop being a pawn. You realize, wait, I don't have to play this role they've written for me.
You are not a character in their play.
You are the author of your own response. This is what the Stoics called the inner citadel. No matter what happens outside, the fortress of your mind remains secure.
So, bringing it all together, when someone tries to play you with these questions, why are you sensitive? Don't you trust me? The key isn't to come up with some clever comeback to win the argument.
No, the goal isn't to win the argument. The goal is to maintain your sovereignty, to keep your mind clear. You just ask yourself, is this in my control? And then you choose transparency.
Choose transparency. What does that look like as a daily practice?
It means making a promise to yourself, a promise that you will not accept fog. You will not accept half-truths just to keep the peace. You choose to see things as they are, not as others want you to see them.
I choose transparency.
That is the mantra.
I think that's a powerful place to land. It's not about being cynical or suspicious of everyone. It's about having enough respect for yourself to require the truth.
And having the strength to handle it when it arrives.
Exactly. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive. I feel like I have a new set of armor for my next difficult conversation.
It's ancient armor, but it fits perfectly.
It really does.
Thanks for being with us to the end.
If it helped, hit spin. Leave a short comment and share it with someone who'd enjoy it. Every share helps more people find us.
And don't forget to stay subscribed to Karizmatik. The best is yet to come.
See you the next episode. Stay charismatic.
Karizmatik.